Hello everyone, my name is Nuvela and welcome to a new video. Today we're building the farmer's home, one of the builds in my trading village that I showcased a while back. As mentioned, today we're building the farmer's market, a home for your farmer villagers, and it includes a fully automatic melon farm, which includes the 1.21 crafter. So you'll never have to make full-sized melons again, as the crafter will do it for you. It should work on both Java and Bedrock edition, and you can find the material list in the video description. Without further ado, let me show you how this works. Let's go! So here you can see a melon stem. If you didn't know, melons grow from stems, and they can be placed on one of 4 locations next to this stem. The mechanic we're using is an observer facing this stem, and it reads when a melon is placed next to it. On top of this observer, we have a redstone dust connected to the 4 blocks beside it, which have pistons connected to it. These pistons will be triggered when a melon grows and then destroy the melon. They destroy the melon into melon slices. These melon slices are being picked up by a hopper minecart which runs beneath this dirt layer, which has some hoppers underneath that transport the melon slices into a crafter. In this crafter, we will have the melon slices stack up until there are 9 melon slices in here, which will create a melon. This comparator reads the input from the crafter, right here, a redstone dust behind that, and another comparator facing into a filled composter, which gives off a signal of 8. And whenever there are 9 melon slices in the crafter, that redstone signal will move up 1 level to redstone level 9. Which is read by the observer underneath, which is read by the observer next to it, which triggers the crafter. Right now there are 8 melon slices in this crafter, so when we add the 9th one, this should trigger the system. And there we go. It produced and spit out a melon. Now, whenever we do this again, there we go, it does it again. Every time when the crafter is filled with 9 melon slices, it will create a full-sized melon, which you can trade with your farmers. And that's pretty much how it works. Now, what we are actually going to do is build a bigger version of this farm under the ground. Have the melons be fabricated down there and have them transported up in a bubble column, where they will end up in a storage cart up here. In the barrel underneath here, you will find all of the melons that have been created. And as you can see, sometimes the system triggers twice, which is why you will have some extra melon seeds as well, which you can use to decorate your world with, for example. All of the melons that your farm will create can be traded with farmer villagers for emeralds. That's how the farm works. Now let me show you how to build it. Let's go! Here you can see the layout of the build. And we are going to start off by digging down at least 8 blocks on this location. You want to face towards the front side of the cart that we are going to create. Once you're down here, dig away 2 blocks in front of you. And then to the left, dig out 3 blocks. And to the right, dig out 5 blocks. Now you don't need to fill in the floor with dirt, I just do this to make sure that I know what the floor of my farm will be. What you want to do now is you want to dig 9 blocks in front of you on the ends of these tunnels and create a square space of 9 by 9 blocks. After that, delete the 4 blocks in the ceiling as well, so you should end up with a 9 by 9 by 6 blocks square. Next up, we are going to start with the rail system. For this you want to start with a line of hoppers going from the entrance all the way to the other side, And you can place these by holding the crouch button and place all hoppers facing into each other so that it creates a line that transports all of the melon slices towards the end. The items should end up at this block in front of this first hopper. Next, you want to grab some redstone blocks and place one in the corner right here. Then place a row of redstone blocks right here and place another one in the corner at this spot. After that, you can grab some powered rails and place these in the corner right here, and also place 4 in a row on top of the redstone block across the hopper. And now you want to zigzag your way all the way to the other side. Now the rails can be a little bit finicky, so to help you with this, place one right here before you place the one in the bend. That way it should always connect to the right side. As mentioned, make your way to the other side, zigzagging all the way through, and make sure that you end with a powered rail on the redstone block. You should now have a fully connected rail system, from one side towards the other side diagonally. You can now make some space for yourself at the side of the farm, because we are going to create a dirt platform on top of this rail system. You want to keep the corner open for now, because we still need to place a hopper minecart here in the end. Once you've created the entire dirt platform, place the hopper minecart, fill in this hole, and then check whether the hopper minecart makes it all the way to the end and back and goes out again. It should now go on indefinitely. Once you are sure that it works, you can close off this area. We will no longer need to adjust anything there. Next up, we are going to plant our melon seeds. To make sure that our melons will grow optimally, we will need to irrigate this dirt floor. For this, place a leaf block in the middle of the farm and waterlog it using a water bucket. Now grab your hoe and create a checkerboard pattern of tiled blocks. This maximizes the amount of space that we can use to grow melons in this 9x9 square. These melons will need light to grow, so we are going to place glowstone in the middle of each wall section. After you've done that, you can place down melon seeds in each of the tilled blocks. These should all be irrigated now and have sufficient light. Now comes a pretty tricky part. Make some space again next to the farm so that you can look on top of the melon stems. These stems have a very little hitbox, which we are going to use to place observers on top. So you want to aim on top of the hitbox and place an observer. You want to do this on top of each of the melon stems. I recommend holding the crouch button for this, because you don't want to fall down. So take your time, it's going to be worth it in the end, trust me. If you fall down, it's better to delete some of the observers on your way back than to delete the dirt underneath you, because you might mess up the minecart system. There is also a trapdoor trick, which I will show you in a minute. You can also use a trapdoor trick to get out, but I will show you this in a minute. As soon as you've placed all of the observers, place down a redstone dust on top of them and make sure that it is a cross shape and not a dot. The next step is to place dirt blocks, or pretty much any solid block, in between these redstone dusts. These are the blocks to which we are going to attach the pistons. Once you've placed the last dirt block at the end of the farm, grab yourself 2 trapdoors, not 1. Open it like this and close it once you're standing next to it. It should get you down to the ground and you can now crawl underneath the observers. You can place the pistons in this way. But it could be possible that you get stuck in between some observers. Let me show you this. We are now stuck. We have nowhere to go. This is why we have the second trapdoor. Place it by holding the crouch button, walk up to it and then open it. You should get down again. Make sure that you take the trapdoor with you if you're moving along, because you don't want to get stuck here. It will be very annoying. Finish your way all around, and as soon as you are done, make your way out again. Don't forget this last one, of course. Do a final check to see if every melon has an observer and some pistons around it. After that, you can fill in the wall because you won't need to be here anymore. Moving on to the crafter. This hopper right here is the output of the farm. This is where all your melon slices will end up. So we're going to feed it into a crafter, which is placed like this. Place a solid block underneath it and an observer next to it with its face turning the other way. So like this. You then want to place an observer facing upwards in front of it, just like so. Place another block right here. And we actually need a little bit more space because we're going to place a composter at the end right here, which we are going to fill up in a minute. We place a redstone comparator with the 2 sticks facing into the crafter right here and another one facing into the composter. And we place a redstone dust in between. Now, as mentioned before, a filled composter gives off a redstone signal of 8. So we want to fill up this composter right up to the top. As you can see on the right side, this redstone dust now has a power level of 8. And whenever a 9th melon slice enters the crafter, this will update to level 9, triggering the crafter. Fill up the entire area because you won't need to be here anymore. And then all we need to do is create a transport system to get the melons up to the surface. For this, place a soul sand block underneath the crafter like this. Make your way up and place a water bucket at the top right here. Then swim down towards the soul sand and place kelp all the way to the top. In Bedrock you won't be able to place kelp on soul sand, so you temporarily want to place a dirt block here to create the water column. Once you made your way to the top, swim back down again and delete the kelp. You've now converted a downward water stream into a water column out of full water source blocks. You will be yeeted onto the surface. And that's pretty much it. So all we need to do now is create a pretty looking output system and a market stall with farmers where we can trade our melons. To start off with the cart, we are going to place a barrel 2 blocks in front of the water column, and we are going to place a hopper behind it facing into it. Surround the barrel, hopper and water column with spruce slabs. Then place an extra water source on top of the water column to bring it level to the hopper. Place down a spruce stair like this, and at the front side you can place 3 spruce trapdoors. At the back we are going to place 3 oak trapdoors at the back of the stair. so it's a little bit higher than the spruce slabs. On the sides, next to the water column, you can place down oak trapdoors as well, which will look like wheels. Now you can fill the cart with some barrels, some melons, and perhaps some unlit campfires, which you can extinguish using a shovel. And then place spruce trapdoors on the side. Place down some fences and a stair in the middle like this. The cart is now almost done, and if you have some horses nearby, you can even put 1 or 2 horses in front of the cart using a lead, just like this. Now it really looks as if the farmers have come from outside of town into town using their horses to bring all the melons inside. It's actually not working properly just yet, because all of the melons that shoot up right now are shot into the air. So we need to cover this water column using, for example, a campfire. And you can waterlog these stairs at the back to make sure that everything flows towards the hopper and ends up in the barrel underneath. As you can see here, all of the melons end up in the barrel, and you even get some extra melon seeds, because sometimes the crafter updates twice. You can use those melon seeds to plant around your world and decorate it a little bit. Finally, let's work on the market stall for the villagers. Place down 4 mud brick walls on the corners like this. And then place 2 composters on this side to make sure that the villagers turn into farmers. And place upside down spruce stairs next to these mud brick walls like this. You can place down a spruce slab in the middle, and then you can place 2 beds in the market stall like this. Close it all up, and then place spruce fences on top of the mud brick walls. 2 fences high. On top of these fences we are going to place green and white wool in alternating rows. On top of this you can place down some carpets to give it a little bit more detail. Underneath the wool, you can place down some spruce trapdoors to make sure that your villagers are not able to escape. And at the front and back side of the building, you can place campfires as a little overhang to make sure that the wares that they are selling don't get wet during rain. On the sides, you can place down banners. Of course, make sure that you light the place up using a lantern. Add your villagers, which should turn into farmers. And you can lay down and hang up some item frames showcasing the wares that you can sell and buy at this market stall. For example, once you've traded your melons for emeralds, you can buy golden carrots, which some people call the best food in the game. And that's pretty much it. All that's left now is to add some extra details to make the place come alive. For example, using some coarse dirt, you can make a trail behind the cart to indicate that it rode in here from somewhere else. In this video I only built one market stall, but a real farmer's market always has multiple market stalls. So feel free to build another one using a different kind of wool at the top to make sure that it looks a little bit different. And if you think that it looks a little bit empty, you can always place down some trees, as I learned from Mythical Sausage one time, to make it feel a lot more cozy. Anyway, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. If you have any questions or suggestions, let me know in the comments below. And stick around, consider subscribing. World downloads are available for members. You can join our Discord, link to that is in the description, where over 1,000 people are ready to help you out with any of your questions. And if you want to support me, you can even buy me a coffee nowadays. A link to that is also in the description. Alright, that's it for me. I hope to see you in the next one, and have a great day. Cheers everyone!